When people hear the name Keanu Reeves, they think of quiet strength, deep emotion, and words that don't shout, they stay. So here's your motivational speech, intro in that loving, heartfelt style. I don't know when it started. Maybe it was the first time I felt your absence, like a storm inside my chest. I don't know when it started. Maybe it was the night I realized distance is just a test for hearts that refuse to quit. But listen to me. I am not walking away. I am not standing still. I am coming closer to you, not just in miles, not just in steps, but in spirit, in patience, in understanding. Every mistake I correct brings me closer to you. Every fear I defeat brings me closer to you. Every fear I defeat brings me closer to you. Every lonely night I survive brings me closer to you. Because love isn't about chasing, it's about becoming. And I am becoming the man who deserves to stand beside you, not behind you, not ahead of you, but with you. So if you feel the silence, if you feel the distance, don't mistake it for absence. It's just me, fighting battles you cannot see, growing in ways you cannot hear, so that when I finally reach you, I won't just say, I love you. I won't just say, I love you. I will prove it. I am coming closer to you. And nothing, not fear, not doubt, not time, is strong enough to stop a heart that has chosen its home. Not in the way the world measures closeness. Not in kilometers, not in footsteps, not in the ticking of a clock. I am coming closer to you in the way a storm moves across the ocean. Unseen at first, but powerful, intentional, unstoppable. Every breath I take carries your name like a quiet promise inside my chest. Every sunrise feels like another step toward the life where our shadows no longer fall in separate directions. There was a time when I thought love was about arrival, about reaching someone and finally resting. But I have learned something deeper, something quieter. Love is not about arriving, it is about becoming. And I am becoming day by day into someone who can stand in front of you without fear, without confusion, without the weight of unfinished battles hanging from my shoulders. I am coming closer to you by fighting the parts of me that once ran from commitment. I am coming closer to you by facing the insecurities that used to whisper that I was not enough. Every doubt I silence is another inch toward you. Every fear I confront is another door opening between us. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but I feel it. There are nights when the world goes quiet, when the noise fades and the only sound left is my own heartbeat. In those moments, I think of you, not as a dream, not as a fantasy, but as a destination carved into my spirit. And I ask myself, are you ready? Are you strong enough? Are you gentle enough? Because coming closer to you is not just about wanting you, it is about preparing myself to protect what we could build. Love is not fragile, it is powerful, but it demands strength. Not the loud kind, not the kind that shouts or dominates. It demands the strength to stay, the strength to listen, the strength to hold someone's heart as if it were the most sacred thing you have ever touched. I am learning that strength. Every heartbreak I survived shaped me. Every heartbreak I survived shaped me. Every betrayal I forgave refined me. Every lonely season taught me how to stand on my own, so that when I stand beside you, I do not lean on you for survival. I stand with you because I choose you, not because I need you to fill a void. I am coming closer to you by filling my own emptiness with purpose, by building a life that is stable, honest, and real. I do not want to arrive at your door with chaos in my hands. I want to arrive with peace, with clarity, with a love that is steady and certain. There were days when I almost gave up on the idea of us, days when distance felt like rejection, when silence felt like an answer I did not want to hear. But something inside me refused to quit. Something deeper than pride, deeper than ego, deeper than fear. It was the quiet conviction that some connections are not accidents. Some hearts recognize each other before words are ever spoken. It is the decision to wait without bitterness. It is trusting that growth takes time. I am coming closer to you through patience, through understanding that rushing love can break it. Music, through accepting that timing is not always in my control, but preparation is every morning I wake up and choose growth. I choose maturity. I choose responsibility. Not because someone is watching, not because I want applause, but because somewhere in this world you exist, and I refuse to meet you as a half finished version of myself. I want to meet you whole. Whole does not mean perfect, it means aware, aware of my flaws, aware of my triggers, aware of my weaknesses, and committed to mastering them so they do not hurt you. I am coming closer to you by healing wounds you did not create, by forgiving people you have never met, by letting go of anger that has nothing to do with you, because you deserve a heart that is open, not guarded by old pain. Sometimes I imagine the moment our paths fully align, not dramatic, not cinematic, just real. Music, two souls standing face to face, knowing that the journey was worth it. And in that moment, I do not want to feel regret. I do not want to think I should have worked harder on myself. I want to feel ready. Readiness is attractive, not money, not status, not appearances, physic, readiness. The readiness to commit, the readiness to commit, the readiness to stay when things become difficult. I am training myself to stay. The world teaches people to leave at the first sign of discomfort, to replace instead of to escape instead of endure. But I am unlearning that habit. I am teaching myself loyalty. I am teaching myself loyalty. I am teaching myself consistency. I am teaching myself to fight for what matters instead of walking away when emotions fluctuate. Because coming closer to you means I must be someone who stays. I stay when conversations get uncomfortable. I stay when misunderstandings arise. I stay when life tests us. Not because I am stubborn, but because I understand that love is not sustained by feelings alone. It is sustained by decision. Every day I decide that the future I want includes you, even if I cannot see the full picture yet, even if circumstances are unclear, even if the road between us is longer than I expected. I am walking it anyway. There are moments when I feel the weight of uncertainty, moments when doubt tries to convince me that I am foolish for believing in something I cannot fully hold yet. But faith is not about holding. It is about trusting, trusting that the effort I put into myself today will shape the reality I step into tomorrow. I am shaping that reality. I am building discipline in my habits. I am building discipline in my habits. I am strengthening my character. I am learning how to speak gently instead of reacting harshly. I am learning how to listen without preparing a defense. These are small things, invisible things, but they matter. They matter because love lives in the small things. One day, when you share your fears with me, I want to respond with calmness, not ego. When you express frustration, I want to respond with understanding, not pride. When you need reassurance, I want to respond with understanding, not pride. When you need reassurance, I want to offer it freely, not reluctantly. That is how I am coming closer to you. Music. I know that love is not only romance, it is responsibility. It is waking up and choosing the same person, even when moods change, even when challenges appear. I am preparing myself for that level of commitment because you're not temporary to me. You're not a distraction. You are not a phase. You are a direction, and directions require movement. So I move, even when progress feels slow, even when no one notices, even when the distance seems unchanged. Growth is not always visible from the outside, but inside, mountains are shifting, habits are breaking. Patterns are dissolving. I am becoming softer where I used to be hard, stronger where I used to be weak, wiser where I used to be impulsive. Every lesson life teaches me, I accept it, because I know it is shaping the man who will stand in front of you. I do not want to bring you confusion. I do not want to bring you instability. I want to bring you instability. I want to bring you partnership, supporting your dreams, not shrinking them, celebrating your success without insecurity, loving you without possession. I am learning that true love does not cage. It frees, it empowers, it inspires growth in both directions. I am coming closer to you by learning how to love without fear of loss. I am coming closer to you by learning how to love without fear of loss. Because fear suffocates love. Fear creates jealousy, suspicion, control. I refuse to let fear define what we could have. Instead, I choose trust. Trust in myself. Trust in you. Trust in the journey. Sometimes I close my eyes and imagine your laughter. I imagine the sound of it filling a room. I imagine the way it would feel to know that I contributed to that joy, that I became someone safe enough for you to be fully yourself. Safety is rare, and I want to be that rarity in your life. So I am doing the work, quietly, consistently, without announcement. Every time I choose patience over anger, I come closer to you. Every time I choose discipline over distraction, I come closer to you. Every time I resist the temptation to settle for less, I come closer to you. Because I am not interested in temporary comfort. I am interested in lasting connection. There will be challenges. I am not naive. Love does not erase difficulty, but it gives difficulty meaning. And I am strengthening myself to carry meaning with dignity. I am coming closer to you in the way my thoughts have changed. I no longer think only about what I want. I think about we could build a home filled with respect, conversations filled with honesty, silence filled with peace instead of tension. Peace is powerful, and I want our connection to feel like peace, not chaos, not chaos, not chaos, not chaos, not confusion, not games, just two people choosing each other repeatedly. to become someone who can choose you not only in easy seasons, but in storms, someone who does not disappear when pressure rises. Pressure reveals character, and I am refining mine. I am coming closer to you with every sacrifice I make for self improvement, with every distraction I remove, with every toxic habit I release. It is not glamorous. It is not loud, but it is real, and real love deserves real effort. The exact moment when our hands will finally meet without distance between them. I do not know the exact day when our conversations will no longer depend on hope, but on presence. But I know this: I am not standing still, I am moving toward you with intention carved into my bones, with growth etched into my routines, with growth etched into my routines, with devotion woven into my discipline, with faith steady in my chest, with courage replacing hesitation, with patience replacing urgency, with maturity replacing doubt, with clarity replacing to doubt, with strength wrapped in gentleness, with passion balanced by wisdom, with passion balanced by wisdom, with desire guided by respect, with dreams supported by action, with love strengthened by preparation, with every heartbeat echoing the same quiet promise that no matter how long the road stretches, no matter how many lessons stand between who I was and who I am becoming, no matter how many nights test my endurance or how many mornings demand resilience, I am still moving, still growing, still choosing, still believing, still fighting, still choosing, still believing, still learning how to hold your future in my hands with care, still reshaping my flaws into foundations, still turning my weaknesses into wisdom, still aligning my life with the kind of love that does not fade when excitement settles into reality, music. Still stepping forward even when the path is hidden, still trusting that every unseen effort is shortening the distance between our souls, still preparing myself to look into your eyes without hesitation and say nothing because my actions will already have spoken. Music, still allowing the process to transform me so completely that when destiny finally closes the gap between us, I will not arrive as a stranger to responsibility or a visitor to a commitment, but as a man who has already been walking towards you long before our footsteps ever touched the same ground. Distance is not separation, it is preparation. I used to think that when two people are not standing side by side, something must be wrong. I used to believe that if I couldn't reach out and touch your hand whenever I wanted, then somehow we were drifting apart. But life has a way of teaching deeper truths. And the truth I have come to understand is this: distance does not always mean disconnection. Sometimes it means development. Sometimes it means two souls are being shaped in different places so that when they finally meet in the same space, they can stand stronger together. I am coming closer to you even now, even in the silence, even in the waiting. Distance is teaching me discipline. It is teaching me how to love without constant reassurance. It is teaching me how to remain loyal in a world that encourages distraction. Every moment I choose you without you being physically present is proof that what I feel is not shallow, it is rooted, it is intentional. There are nights when the absence feels heavy, when I wish I could hear your voice without technology, when I wish I could read your expressions without imagining them. In those moments, it would be easy to let frustration grow. It would be easy to question the journey. But instead, I let the distance train my heart. Because love that survives distance is love that understands value. Distance forces honesty, it removes convenience.
It strips away physical comfort and leaves only intention. Why stay connected when it would be easier to detach? Why remain committed when the temptation whispers alternatives? The answer is simple: because what we are building is worth more than temporary comfort.
I am coming closer to you by learning patience in ways I never had to before. Patience is not passive, it is active endurance. It is choosing not to rush something sacred. It is active endurance. It is choosing not to rush something sacred. It is respecting the process instead of demanding immediate reward. Every day apart is shaping me into someone who understands effort. Someone who understands that real connection is not measured by proximity, but by consistency. Consistency is powerful. It is showing up emotionally even when you cannot show up physically. It is listening carefully. It is speaking gently. It is speaking gently. It is remembering small details. It is protecting the bond even when no one is watching. Distance is refining my intentions. If my feelings were temporary, they would have faded by now. If my desire was superficial, it would have been replaced by something easier. But instead, what I feel has grown stronger, clearer, more focused. I think about you not as an escape, but as a partner in a future I am actively preparing. For distance gives me time to reflect, to examine my habits, music, to confront my flaws without projecting them onto you. It allows me to build stability within myself, so that when we share the same space, I do not bring chaos with me. There is a quiet strength in waiting with purpose. They think that If something is meant to happen, it should happen immediately. But the most meaningful things in life take time, trust takes time. Emotional safety takes time. Deep understanding takes time. Distance is building understanding between us. We are learning each other through words instead of touch, through conversation instead of convenience. That kind of learning goes deeper. It forces attention. It forces intention. It forces intention by making sure that when challenges come, I do not run. Distance is a challenge, and if I can remain steady now, when the gap feels wide, then I know I will remain steady when life throws obstacles in our path later. I want to be someone you can rely on, not only when things are easy, but when they are uncertain. Distance is uncertainty. It tests loyalty. It tests emotional endurance. It tests belief. And I am choosing belief. Belief that what we are nurturing is real. Belief that what we are nurturing is drilled as important as presence. Belief that this space between us is not empty, but filled with growth. There are days when I imagine the moment the distance closes, the first time we stand face to face after all this waiting. I imagine the quiet recognition in her eyes, the understanding that the time apart was not wasted, that every conversation, every late night thought, every silent prayer was shaping that very moment. Distance has taught me to value communication, to say what I mean clearly, to listen fully. When you cannot rely on physical gestures, words become sacred. Tone becomes meaningful. Honesty becomes essential. I am learning how to communicate without ego, how to apologize without pride interfering, how to express needs without accusation. These lessons are preparing me for something lasting. Distance is teaching me independence too. It reminds me that love is not dependency. I do not need you to survive. I choose you to build with. That difference matters. It means when we stand together, we do so out of desire, not desperation. I am building my life, strengthening my goals, focusing on my growth, not because I want to impress you, but because I want to contribute equally. I want to crimp stability, ambition, and maturity into what we share. Distance removes illusion. It shows whether two people are connected by emotion or merely by convenience. Music. Convenience fades quickly. Emotion rooted in respect does not. Every time I resist negativity, I come closer to you. Every time I choose trust over suspicion, I come closer to you. Every time I silence overthinking and replace it with faith, I come closer to you. Distance is not punishing us, it is polishing us. It is smoothing the rough edges of impatience. It is strengthening the muscles of loyalty. It is revealing whether we are willing to endure discomfort for something meaningful. And I am willing. So, there are moments when loneliness tries to disguise itself as logic. It whispers that it would be easier to let go, that long roads are not worth walking. But love is not about ease, it is about value. And I see value in you. I see potential in us. Distance is reminding me that physical closeness is a gift, not a guarantee. It is teaching me gratitude before possession, appreciation before arrival. When we finally close this space, I will not take your presence lightly. I will understand what it cost. I will remember the nights of patience, the days of discipline, the effort of consistency. I am coming closer to you through maturity, through choosing calm reactions instead of emotional impulses, through understanding that misunderstandings can be resolved without drama. Distance forces emotional intelligence. Without it, connection collapses. I am strengthening mine. I want our future conversations to be built on respect. I want our disagreements to end in understanding, not resentment. Distance is giving me time to practice restraint, empathy, and clarity. It is easy to love someone when they are standing right in front of you. It is deeper to love someone when they are miles away and you still protect their place in your life. This distance reveals priorities, and you are not a temporary priority, and you are a direction. Every sunrise is another opportunity to grow into someone worthy of long term love. Every sunset is a reminder that, oh, me more day has passed and I remain consistent. Consistency builds trust, trust builds security. Security builds peace, and peace is what I want us to feel when we finally stand in the same room without miles between us. Foundations are built underground, unseen. No one applauds them, but without them, nothing stable can stand. We are building something stable. I am using this time to align my actions with my words, to ensure that when I say I am committed, it is backed by discipline, to ensure that when I say I care, it is backed by sacrifice. Distance requires sacrifice. It requires choosing long term vision over short term satisfaction. It requires guarding the bond against doubt and distraction, and I am guarding it. By refusing to entertain alternatives that do not align with the future I see, by reminding myself daily why I started walking this path. Distance is temporary, growth is permanent. The lessons I am learning now will remain with me even after the miles disappear. Patience will remain. Emotional control will remain. Communication skills will remain. I am not just waiting for you. I am not just waiting for you. I am preparing for you. Preparation means examining my weaknesses honestly. It means correcting behaviors that could harm what we build. It means strengthening discipline so that commitment is not just a feeling but a standard. Distance has shown me that real love is not loud, it is steady. It does not panic when space appears, it uses space wisely. I use this space to become better, to refine my ambitions, to strengthen my faith in us, to strengthen my faith in us.